I have a confession to make. I have never seen Mad Max Fury Road. I feel like that gives me a unique perspective on Furiosa though. I mean, how many people have you seen that has only seen Furiosa and not Fury Road? It's like 95% of modern Mad Max fans are only Mad Max fans because of Fury Road. So I am going to be talking about differences between Fury Road and Furiosa, and I know that sounds silly without seeing Fury Road, but I understand the gist, okay? It's a long chase movie, it didn't have a script, looks phenomenal. I'm gonna see it probably this weekend at some point. Furiosa, on the other hand, is a very different movie from what it looks like. Furiosa is more of a revenge film. This film feels like the exact opposite of what Mad Max Fury Road probably was. This is a really dense script, it's a very slow, like fable-like story, it's confident, patient storytelling. The trailer of this movie calls this an odyssey, and I can't agree more. To pregame for this movie, I decided to watch the first two Mad Max movies. From what it looks like, Furiosa is closer to those first two movies than to Fury Road. I feel like the only way we can start talking about this movie is talking about the lead actress, Anya-Taylor Joy. You've probably heard how she doesn't really have that many lines in this movie. That's not a problem. I kind of feel like she's the perfect actress for this movie. She's got those big eyes and they're really expressive, and that's what you need from this character. I was also kind of shocked at how long we actually spend with young Furiosa. Anya-Taylor Joy doesn't even come in this movie for like another hour. Whoever is the casting director on this movie needs a raise. This kid looks exactly like Anya-Taylor Joy. I really love how Anya-Taylor Joy really stores her anger in this movie, and it comes out towards the very end. I'm assuming the finished product we get at the end of this film is pretty close to Charlize Theron's character in Fury Road. From the start of this film, you can see Anya-Taylor Joy just build up with anger, and we don't really get it to about the end of the film where she really lets it all out. I think there's about 35 lines in this entire movie for her, and pretty much 20 of them come out at the very end. I'll say everybody's standout from this movie is probably going to be Chris Hemsworth though. He's never really had an opportunity to go this wild, and even though this is still an action movie, that's still kind of his genre, he does go wild. Look, this script is very formulaic, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's a very formulaic revenge movie, so you know all the beats that the villain's going to go through. Pause. I have no idea why I kept on saying Dementor instead of Dementis. Sorry, Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth plays Dementor, and we get two Dementors in this movie. We get a young, confident Dementor. He's hungry for control and power. Then we don't see Dementor for like an hour, and it's about 12 years later or something like that. He's a completely different man. You can tell from his hair, he's all gray now, and he's kind of lost it. There's a lot of infighting going on between his crew. This sets up a really good third act where all of his anger just boils over. You know all that man is seeing is red. If you've seen any of the other Mad Max movies, you know the production design and the set design is going to be marvelous. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. There's so many weird people in this movie, just weird looking dudes. That's what I need in a wasteland. There's really only one negative to this movie, and I think it's getting a little overblown maybe by certain people. When the trailer initially came out, everybody noticed how the special effects looked a little computery. I am afraid that seems to be the case for a few scenes. Obviously, VFX are always going to be done through computers, so saying computery is a little stupid. But this movie doesn't really balance the line between reality and computery that well at times. There's a scene specifically where Furiosa is under a rig, and it's really obvious that this is not actually happening. Part of Mad Max's appeal is just how insane it looks. It's the setting, it's the appearance of everything, it's that production design I was talking about earlier, and obviously it's a bunch of car fights. So when the visual effects do not look as good as the last movie, I feel like that's pretty valid criticism. There are still tons of long sequences that look phenomenal the entire movie. Specifically, I like the two-man battle against all of Gastown. I feel like that's probably the pinnacle of this movie. At the end of the day, I just think this is a really good story, and I feel like it's still in the Mad Max universe, so it's a lot of fun. I had a great time, but I do not think the visual effects is going to hinder everyone's experience. I'm going to be honest, it barely hindered mine, okay? You're going to like this movie if you liked Fury Road. It's that simple. I promise I'm going to see Fury Road like this weekend, okay? I promise. If I had to give it a number, it would probably be like a 7 or an 8. I'll see y'all later.